Welcome back, accomplices. This week it's just me. Shayna doesn't even know that I'm recording right now, so this is going to come as a surprise to her. It's been a while since we have put out any new episodes. I want to apologize for that. It's definitely not our intention to leave you guys hanging. As you know, we say it all the time, life just kind of tends to get in the way, and both of us have been dealing with some things in our personal life, but we got that all taken care of. So we are going to be putting out more episodes, hopefully on a weekly basis. If not, then on a bi-weekly basis. Anybody who does podcasts knows that it is a lot of work, and Shayna and I both work full time. So sometimes being able to carve out time in our busy, not only work schedules, but to have a personal life as well, it can get a little grueling. But we do want to start recording more. We have some really interesting cases for you guys. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm a little sick, so I have just been kind of chilling at home. But I just finished setting up my tech room. So my husband does streaming and he plays Magic the Gathering on Spell Table. And his, I want to say gamer tag, but that's probably not correct, is the Tinker God. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go follow him. But we just got our tech room all set up. So he does his streaming, I do the recording. And so now it's a nice space. So I just kind of wanted to test it out. And while I'm doing that, I just got to thinking about how there are so many serial killers out there who, believe it or not, get married after they're convicted. There is a actual definition for this. It's called hybristophilia. So it's a phenomenon characterized by sexual interest in an attraction to those who commit crimes. People who have this phenomenon, it's also known as the Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. It's just an attraction to criminals, especially serial killers, many high-profile criminals, particularly those who have committed outrageous crimes. They receive a lot of fan mail in prison, sometimes has sexual content, so women will actually send like nude photos of themselves. And then in some extreme cases, these admirers actually go to the prisons and marry these individuals. So some believe that they can change a man as cruel and powerful as a serial killer. Others see this little boy that the killer once was and seek to nurture him. Few hope to share in the media spotlight or get a book or movie deal. And then there's the notion of the quote unquote perfect boyfriend. She knows where he is at all times and she knows he's thinking about her. While she can claim that someone loves her, she does not have to endure any day-to-day issues involved in most relationships. There's no laundry to do, no cooking for him, no accountability to him. So I actually found this article, and it is the 10 most infamous murderers who married in prison. So first on the list is Charles Manson. Charles Manson got a marriage license in the state of California, and he was able to marry Afron Elaine, aka Star Burton. She was 26 years old, and she used to run his social media sites. So they had been granted a marriage license back in 2014 by the state of California. It caused a considerable uproar, especially among lonely singles who had their own inability to find love, while old Charles somehow got engaged without ever leaving the confines of a California state prison. But as the saying goes, it's not you, it's them. While killing someone isn't a recommended way to attract a mate, it certainly does seem to work for some folks. Again, the hybristophilia is the condition of being turned on by someone who commits a violent crime. It has often been cited by psychologists an explanation for why some women and men willingly marry jailbirds. If Manson does get hitched while rotting in prison, he certainly won't be the first convicted murderer to do so. Next on the list, we have Susan Atkins. So she actually was a Manson family member. So Atkins, aka Sadie Mae Glutz, or Sexy Sadie, was serving a life sentence for her role in the Tate/LaBonkia murders and the killing of Gary Hinman when she married eccentric self-described multimillionaire Donald Lee Lazier. For Lazier, it was Laizere. $URE. And that's how he preferred to spell it. In the 1981 ceremony of the California Institution for Women in Terra, California, Atkins had their marriage annulled soon after when she reportedly learned that her husband wasn't as rich as he had claimed and that he had been previously married some 35 times. In 1987, she tied the knot again to Harvard law student James Whitehouse, who was 15 years her junior. They remained together until her death in 2009. So that's lovely. Next on the list, we have Tex Watson. He also was part of the Manson family murders. Charles Denton, aka Tex Watson, beat both Atkins and Manson to the altar, marrying Kristen Joan Spage in 1979 while serving a life sentence for 7 counts of first-degree murder pertaining to the Tate slayings. Who converted to Christianity in 1975 and eventually became an ordained minister, fathered 4 children with his wife before 1996, when the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation banned conjugal visits for lifers. The couple ended up divorcing in 2003. Of course, we can't forget about the famous Ted Bundy, an admitted serial killer, rapist, and necrophile. Bundy confessed to 30 homicides, though his victims' total may have been much higher. That didn't stop Carol Ann Boone, a twice-divorced mother of 2 who dated him before his initial arrest, from smuggling cash to Bundy to help fund a 1977 escape from prison or marrying him in a courtroom in February of 1980 during the penalty phase of his trial in Florida. Boone gave birth to a daughter in 1982 and named Bundy as the father. Richard Ramirez, dubbed the Night Stalker by the press. Ramirez was sentenced to death in 1989 on charges that included 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, and 11 sexual assaults. 7 years later, he married freelance magazine editor Doreen Leoy, who had begun a correspondence with him shortly after his arrest. She said, "He's kind, he's funny, he's charming." At least that's what she told CNN in 1997. "I just believe in him completely. In my opinion, there was far more evidence to convict O.J. Simpson, and we all know how that turned out." Well, there was plenty of evidence to convict Richard Ramirez as well, but here we are. And then, of course, we have the ever so famous Mendez brothers. So we have Lyle Mendez, convicted in 1994 along with his brother Eric for the shotgun murders of their wealthy parents. Lyle had been married twice while serving a life sentence in prison. First to former model Anna Erickson, who divorced him after she found out he was writing to another woman. Scandalous. And then to magazine editor Rebecca Sneed, who had since become an attorney. There may be trouble in paradise between Lyle and Rebecca, however, due to a recent tabloid revelations that Mendez is living a quote-unquote double life in prison as a gay man. I wish I could say I never saw that coming. And then, of course, we have his younger brother, Eric Mendez. In 1999, Eric got hitched to pen pal Tammy Sockman in a Folsom prison writing room. "Our wedding cake was a Twinkie," she later recalled. and the couple remained married to this day. 6 years later, Tammy self-published a memoir called "They Said We'd Never Make It: My Life with Eric Mendez," which would form the basis of a 2010 A&E documentary called Miss Mendez. Next up on our list, we have Kenneth Bianchi. So arrested in 1979 for his role in the Hillside Strangler sex murders that terrorized Los Angeles in the late 70s. Bianchi convinced one of the female admirers who'd contacted him during his trial to give false testimony on his behalf. She was later arrested and convicted for attempting to strangle a woman to make it seem as if the Hillside Strangler was still at large. In 1989, Bianchi married pen pal Shirley Joyce Brooke, who'd reportedly tried to woo Ted Bundy before moving on to Bianchi. So if you can't get one, get the other. Way to go. All right. Up next, we have Angelo Buono Jr., Kenneth Bianchi's cousin and partner in the Hillside Strangler killings. Buono caught the eye of Christine Kazuka while she was visiting her husband and the father of her 3 children, who spent 5 months in a cell next to Buono at the Los Angeles County Jail while serving an 18-month stint for assault with a deadly weapon. Buono and Kazuka tied the knot at Folsom Prison in 1986. Though prison officials emphasized at the time that the horrific nature of Buono's crimes, which included torture and sexual assault, disqualified him from enjoying any conjugal visits with his new bride. Aw, shucks. And we have Oscar Ray Bolin Jr., aka Bolin the Butcher, who is currently on death row for the brutal mid-80s rapes and murders of 3 Florida women, scored a major coup of sorts in 1996 when he married, in a telephone ceremony, his erstwhile public defender. Wow. Okay. Rosalie Martinez, a mother of 4 and the wife of a prominent attorney, when she first met Bolin, lost both her first husband and at the public defender's office. And her position at the public defender's office after jail officials suggested she'd been caught in positions of more compromising nature in the killer's cell. Well, so much for that attorney-client confidentiality. Okay, moving on, we have Varg Vikernes. Vikernes, the influential black metal musician behind one-man band Burzum, married and impregnated his wife Marie Catchett while serving 15 years of a 21-year sentence in a Norwegian prison for the killing of Mayhem guitarist Austin Euronymous Arseth and the arson of several architecturally significant churches. Now living in France with their 4 children, Vikernes and Catchett were arrested in 2013 under suspicion of plotting a terrorist attack together, and the musician was ultimately found guilty in a French court for inciting racial hatred against Jews and Muslims. That's all I have for you. It's honestly blows my fucking mind that women would find serial killers attractive, at least to the point of wanting to marry one. To each their own, I guess, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was pretty short. I just kind of wanted to test the waters here a little bit. And yeah. Hopefully Shane and I will be back in the next couple of weeks to give you more content, more episodes. We're going to be cracking down on these cases and producing some stuff for you guys. So hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back for your listening pleasure later. Bye.